Alright, I start by getting out my bread maker, getting all my ingredients ready. I come over to the stove and I set mine to proof and just put that on warm. You could also just set your regular oven to bake and just also put that on warm. That'll be for making the dough rise. Okay, so here we go, into the bread machine. I take 1 cup of warm water. Normally I'll take and check the temperature, get it between 105 and 110 degrees. Take 1 cup of the warm water. Throw that into the bread machine. Okay. Then I'll take a heaping tablespoon of dry yeast. Put that in. A little bit of sugar. Usually I use about 2 teaspoons of sugar into the bread machine. I've got all that in there with a dash of salt and a generous portion of olive oil, about 1/4 of a cup. And what you want to do now is let that yeast activate. So give that about 5 minutes and it should start to foam. Alright, so here we go. We're ready to make this crust. I'm going to start out with some warm water. I usually measure the temperature. I want it to be between 105 and 110 degrees. I'll take 1 cup of the warm water. And into that water I'm going to put a heaping tablespoon of dry yeast. Okay. Dash of salt. Probably about 2 teaspoons. And then I'm going to take some sugar and just a light tablespoon of sugar into that. Okay, I'm going to take that mixture and go ahead and throw that into the warmed bread machine. Okay, now from there I'm going to grab some olive oil and I'm going to put a generous portion of virgin olive oil, about 1/4 of a cup. Throw that in there. Okay, and from there we're just going to take that mixture and let that let that yeast activate. Give that about 5 minutes. Okay, that yeast is active. So I go ahead, I take 4 cups of flour, any old flour. It could be bread flour, bleached flour, unbleached flour. So I added the flour. Now I grab some cornmeal. Gives it a little color, a little crunch. It's a little less than 1/2 cup. Throw that in there. All right. All my ingredients are in there, and I'm going to set my bread maker to the dough setting, and I'm going to let that rip for a little bit before I add the butter. So as Robbie Gould misses his field goal, I've got 2 sticks of softened butter right here. I'm going to unwrap those, and once this dough is kind of partially mixed, I'm going to add the butter to the mix. I'm going to go ahead and add the butter. I got 2 sticks of softened butter. Alright. Right now the dough's at a good stage to add it. It's on full whip right now. Just go ahead and throw that in there. I'm trying to watch the football game while I'm doing this. So this is ready at dinner time. So I put 1 3/4 sticks into the bread machine. The other quarter stick goes right into the pan. Alright, so after it's mixing for a while, you want to kind of check it. It may be a little too wet or too dry, depending on your humidity and other conditions, and exactly how you measure. It's a pretty precise recipe. This looks pretty good. It's forming one solid ball. Might be a little wet, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of flour. This isn't too bad. So I'm just adding maybe a tablespoon. Alright, that'll kind of mix in. Alright, looking a little better after that. And it's about how you want it. It's a little bit wetter than my thin crust dough. This is looking good, and I'm getting ready to transfer it to the proofing oven. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and shut that bread machine off. Take my stainless bowl, put a little olive oil in there, grab out that dough ball. That's about what she looks like. And I just kind of... And then I'm going to cover it up and put it in the proofing oven. Alright, it'll be in there for maybe 45 minutes. Alright, I'm going to take a look at this. Should be pretty proofed up. Oh yeah, that's ready. I'll pull that out and throw that into the pizza pan.
There you go.
Alright, here we go. We're going to take our proof dough, and this kind of pizza dough should be nice and soft like that. Okay? It's a little more doughy than a typical pizza dough. Now this is probably a little bit more than we need, but I'm going to dump it all in there anyways. Okay, I got a real buttery pan. I hope that looks buttery enough to you. But that was that extra quarter stick of butter that we threw in there. This dough, this looks like about the right amount for 14-inch commercial pizza pan. So what I'm going to do is just press that into this pan real quick, and then I'm going to let it rise again. Okay, so that's pretty much what it'll look like when I put it back in the oven to reproof.
Go.
I got this in a warmed oven. It's at about 125. All right, sweet. All right, so it's been reproofing for I don't know, probably 40 minutes. When I pull it out, it's just slightly warm, and it looks like that. At this point, I'm going to take and turn my oven up to 350. And then I'll get going on the rest of the pizza. Okay, so I reproofed the dough, and at this point you're going to form the edge of the crust. Now, this might be a little bit too much dough. I'm going to see after I get done with this. So I packed it in here like this, okay? And you know what? I'm going to take a little bit of this out. I'm going to take a little handful of this out. It's a little bit too much, okay? I'm just going to throw that on the side. Alright, but that can make a little bit of a difference. It was would have been a little bit too thick. Now, but that's just me. You might like it thicker or thinner. So I pack this back in. It is soft as could be. Now I'm going to go like this. I'm really going to pinch the edge of that crust up around the pan, and that gives you that real crunchy, thin edge on the pizza. Okay. And what I'm going to do, since this is kind of a thick crust, is I'm going to bake this now for about 5 minutes to partially pre-cook this dough. Okay, which works out best in a home oven.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-cook this for like 5 minutes. That's it, 350. So while the crust is pre-cooking, I have two cans here, and they're the 15-ounce size can. One is a gourmet pizza sauce, could be Pastorelli or Caputo, has a good one too. The other one is the Hunt's, or whatever your favorite diced tomato is. So I'm going to open up these cans and I'm going to strain most of the water off of those diced tomatoes. So you want to get most of the water off of that. All right, that should be good. Then I'm going to mix the two together right here in this bowl. All right, we're going to finish this thing off. I've got my par cooked crust. It was in the oven for 6 minutes at 350. Okay, I usually take and just put a little sauce before the cheese, just a light layer. Okay, and kind of spread it around. I got my spatula working here, and that's about it. So I have mozzarella Romano Asiago blend here, and I'm going to put a nice layer of cheese all over this whole pizza, and it's going to be over 1/4 of an inch thick all the way around. Alright, okay, so we're kind of finish that off. You see, that's a nice thick layer of cheese. Okay, then you got your sausage. I have about a pound of bulk Italian sausage here. I'm going to flatten that out and make a nice patty out of it. Okay, got that flattened out real quick. And then I'm just going to take, it's laying on some saran wrap. So at this point I'm just going to lay that on the pizza. Go ahead and cut. Okay, so this pizza is going to be partially pepperoni because Carly likes pepperoni. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some pepperoni on part of it. That's all set to go with your meat. I have my blend of the diced tomatoes and this gourmet sauce here. And I'm going to spread that on there. And there's no need to add any extra salt or pepper or any other seasoning. The Caputo's pizza sauce. Okay, I finish it off with a little fresh grated Romano and a little 3-herb blend of basil, parsley, and oregano. I'm going to throw this in the oven at 350 and let her bake. Takes about 40 minutes. Here we go.
Go.
All right, should be ready. It's been in the oven for around 45 minutes. I just look for a nice crispy edge. Whoa, how's that look? Yeah. All right, that's a huge pizza. I cut a piece out for Tiffy. It's about what it should look like.
Did you get my email?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.